In the previous few debates, my opponents mentioned a lot about whether homosexuality is genetic, whether they can choose or not. Well, that's not the issue, whether homosexuality is genetic. It doesn't affect, whether the state is supposed to go against that or not. But they said that freedom is a basic right. How homosexual marriage is a freedom that they should be offered. But if freedom is a basic right, how far does that go? A person could technically say under the law of freedom, under the First Amendment, that they could go out and kill someone. But that's obviously against the law. Another thing is that if it is such a freedom, then if you legalize homosexual marriage, it'll end up, being in the instruction of children, elaborating on what my partner said. It'll end up having to instruct children in schools about what the definition of marriage is. And then how would they be able to decide what the new definition of mother and father is? Will it both be father? Will one be like a mother-father? What would you call that? On the point that that's a freedom, isn't that also a violation of freedom where children have to be taught that, and the parents, whether they want to or not, they're required by the government to be taught this new definition of marriage? My opponents also mentioned that domestic partnerships are only per state, and that crossing state lines would change the rights offered or would nullify the rights offered. Well, according to Jeffrey Jones, in his article, Majority of Americans Continue to Oppose Gay Marriage, also by that, the company that conducts public opinion polls and collects statistical data, the one I told you about earlier, President Obama personally does not support gay marriage, but believes that the states should decide for themselves. Thus, he seems unlikely to seek a national standard. Meaning that if any president were not to seek a national standard, that would mean states would still have to determine gay marriage. And that would end up being the same as domestic partnership, because the state would have to decide what, rights and rules and laws gay marriage receives. Also on the same point, a pro same-sex marriage site called loveandpride.com, they state that gay marriage does not automatically entitle couples to the benefits they claim that they aren't given, like the adoption, which I disagree with, but the adoption and the Social Security, and as gay marriage is still a separate legal matter to heterosexual marriage. So the sites themselves that are pro same-sex marriage are saying that it doesn't automatically entitle, anything to the people. It'd still be a separate legal matter, so the states would still have to decide what they would give same-sex marriage. My opposition also mentioned that in opposite-sex marriage, there are some spouses that don't stay together. However, the point is that they used to have a father or they used to have a mother. They used to have both parents to give them both sides of the mental states that I've talked to you about. That male and females have different mental states and thinking processes and can help the child develop in different ways. And even for a couple that, like a single parent, where the child never knew the father or the mother, the single parent can go and marry an opposite gender person and give their child that other half of a way of thinking. So they grow up equal in both sides and therefore be developed.
You're over time at this point.
Okay.